Rather, 7 minutes after 8 o'clock on this Thursday. Top of the morning from the newsroom of Regional Radio and DeWittDailyNews.com. I'm Seth Lawrence with this expanded 8 o'clock newscast streaming to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin insurance agent in Clinton. Attracting young families is vital for the future of rural communities and is always a focus of a city's leadership. At last Wednesday's Mayoral Candidates Forum at Clinton High School for the unfinished 2-year term of mayor on the city council, 5 of 6 candidates on next week's ballot addressed how they envision the opportunities for kids in Clinton. Kelly Harvey is particularly passionate about the youth of Clinton and says whether elected or not, she hopes to offer leadership opportunities for kids through partnerships with local leaders.
One of the things that I am most interested in doing, even if not elected as mayor, is creating a leadership program in the town. There are not a lot of opportunities for our youth, but there are a lot of amazing business owners, like commissioners, a lot of people within government that I would love to see take on a mentorship type of role. Get our children from a young age interested in making their own business or getting into government. I think that we should support that. I would love to see junior firefighters, junior sheriffs, and really get our kids off the street and involved in what it takes to grow a community. I know Bobby had mentioned last night that he went to the water department, and it was really cool to see what they've got going on over there. I bet kids would love that. So I think that we really need to create opportunities for our youth like that, get them excited about Clinton. They're going to grow up. They're going to be the ones that are running the nursing home, working at the power plant in 20, 30 years. So we really need to invest in them and teach them from a young age to have those skills. I really like the idea of more community events on the square. I think that if we got different organizations involved in that, it wouldn't have to be a huge cost for the city. I think there's a lot of opportunity there that's completely untapped, and I would love to enrich that for them.
Robert Kreitler calls youth programming in Clinton hit and miss over the years. He remembers when there were robust programs and believes anything that is done would have to be done in partnership with what already exists with nonprofits like the YMCA or the Vaults.
Youth programming in town has been hit and miss. Some years, and I think a lot of that has to do with what kind of funding is available at the time. I can remember back years ago that we used to have the youth initiative in town, and it used to have quite a few youth that were working on various projects around the town. It's basically grunt work to help out, they like flower beds, things like that they would be working on. They'd bring on probably about maybe a dozen, 2 dozen youth there during the summer to do all that. We have a lot of youth programming right now that's being sponsored by the Vault. The YMCA is also very involved in it. So anything that we would be doing, we would have to be able to coordinate that with them so we are not stealing I guess stealing maybe the youth is kind of the best thing, or cannibalizing their programs for the benefit there. Because once you start cannibalizing their programs, or they start feeling like you're cannibalizing their stuff, they're going to be reluctant to work with you. So you're going to have to reach out to the existing programs out there and find a way to help develop them up and build them up and work together with them.
Seth Reddington says it's great to think about what we can do for youth, but it will be tax dollars that will pay for things.
I think as mayor, you can help work with these other organizations. At the end of the day, it's tax dollars that's going to fund all this. And that's what you have to keep in mind. You have the Y, the Vault, churches, all kinds of organizations that have things for the children. Maybe help them, maybe assist them a little bit, work with them. But at the end of the day, we have to remember that it's tax dollars that's funding this.
Like Kreitler, Doug Tucker says it would be great to partner with groups like the YMCA and the Vault. He also points out parents need to be involved.
I fully support getting the kids active here in town, but I think if we tie it in with the Vault, with the YMCA, we can all benefit together. The one thing I would say, we've got to get the parents active in this also. Parents lead an very active life. So with that said, they want to run and they'll enter a kid in a program or something and, well, we got this to do tonight, and they skip that instead of actually having the commitment to actually follow through. So once we get the parents involved and work together with the vault, the YMCA, I think we could put a program together, and it probably wouldn't cost very much money.
Helen Michelossi believes Clinton has great opportunities for kids already, but hopes to see some programs of the past return.
I think we do have things for youth to do here. Will there ever be enough? Probably not. We do have the vault and the YMCA. Certainly, we also have our local U of I Extension office that offers phenomenal programming, including 4-H for folks. They don't age out of it quite so quickly as youth sports. We also have our local library, and the library has phenomenal programs as well. And we also have at the state park, a lot of young people go out and enjoy the programming they have at the schoolhouse out there as well. So we have a lot that we can support already, but I really would want to work on bringing back something very similar, and some of you will remember the summer rec program we had in Clinton. And it was held at a city park, and it was Monday through Friday. And kids brought a sack lunch, and there was a camp counselor there, and it was every day, and kids from all over town could go there and enjoy sports and hanging out and learn things and do crafts. It was a phenomenal thing that we had for a very long time here. And if we could find a way to bring that back, that's something that's all inclusive for all children of all abilities and all, wherever they live, they could participate.
Each candidate was given 90 seconds to answer each question. Some used their allotted time, while others wrapped up their answers before that time expired. We'll continue to hear from the candidates this week and leading up to next week's election, which is again for the 2 years remaining on the unfinished term of mayor on the Clinton City Council. You can hear the candidates forum in its entirety at DeWittDailyNews.com and find the link to the forum at the top of the homepage at DeWittDailyNews.com. A minor data breach of a vendor of Warner Hospital is impacting a small number of patients. On the WHOW Morning Show Wednesday, CEO Paul Skowron told Regional Radio the data breach was to the management company of the hospital's pharmacy. Just over 500 patients could be impacted by this data breach.
CPS Solutions, which manages what's called the Omnicell units that have medications in them, they notified us in mid-February that there was a data breach that was isolated to December 2nd through the 4th. They notified us that they knew of the names and the dates of birth of the patients. We then took that information, we worked with them, we assigned this to our privacy officer, and privacy officer shares it with our legal counsel. Our legal counsel and our privacy officer talked to our business associate and their legal counsel. With that, the information they gave us, we then went to our outside billing company and said, can you give us the specifics on who exactly? We wanted to make sure who exactly is affected. And so it turns out that there was 510 patients affected potentially. We don't know if they were affected or not.
Skowron is thankful they have been proactive in dealing with protocols for data breaches like the one encountered recently. He says data breaches are a constant concern for him. An annual event is tonight at Clinton Junior High School. Janice Peterson is the executive director of the Clinton Chamber of Commerce and explains this year the Business Expo is at Clinton Junior High School from 3 to 6 p.m. There will be attractions like face painting, the Easter Bunny, and the shred truck is back.
J Squared Aquatics will have their tortoise there. We have the Zoo Lady will be doing face painting. The Easter Bunny will be there, so bring your own camera and take pictures of the kids with the Easter Bunny.
Cool.
And that's about it. That's unique stuff.
Oh, this
the
year?
shred truck is there this year, and it's sponsored by Heartland Bank. And I'm thinking that it's going to be in the back. We're trying to lay that part out still, but people should be able just to drive to the back, kind of go circle around the shred truck and drive back out.
Again, the Clinton Chamber of Commerce Business Expo is tonight from 3 to 6 p.m. at Clinton Junior High School. As if March weather hasn't put Illinoisans through the ringer enough, more severe weather is on the way. On the WHOW Morning Show Wednesday, Ed Shimon at the National Weather Service in Lincoln told Regional Radio heavy rains are anticipated tonight. There could be the threat of severe weather with these storms. South Central and Southern Illinois were hit hard by storms a few weeks ago, and Shimon indicates more severe weather is in store for that part of the state, with the highest risks of severe weather tonight and Sunday night. Get news anytime from your computer or mobile device at DeWittDailyNews.com.
MR Systems Wireless is your local internet provider for Clinton and surrounding area. They have the products you want and the local service you deserve. MR Systems Wireless Internet service for home or business includes unlimited data, unlimited streaming, and unlimited calling. Plans start at just $48 a month and get a free Roku 4Ls with our media packages. Get the speed you need with MR Systems Wireless. Call them at 935-2100. That's 935-2100 for MR Systems Wireless.
Share 55.
With SRN Sports, I'm Andrew Stewart. Yesterday's NBA winners, LeBron James, started the fourth quarter in danger of failing to extend his league record for consecutive double-digit scoring games. But James finished it with yet another crowning achievement. The 40-year-old scored the last of his 13 points on a buzzer-beating tip-in to give his Los Angeles Lakers a 120-119 victory over the Indiana Pacers. This barely extends James' double-digit scoring streak to 1,283. Yesterday's other NBA winners, Washington, the Clippers, Toronto, Denver, and Boston. Yesterday's hockey winners, New Jersey, Vancouver, Anaheim, and Dallas. In tennis, Iga Swiatek given extra security protection at the Miami Open. This comes after she encountered verbal attacks during a practice session. This is SRN Sports. An increase in injuries could lead to baseball limiting its flamethrowers.
That revealed the focus on throwing with increased velocity and using maximum effort on every pitch was a likely reason for the increase in injuries to pitchers. The study showed that Major League pitcher injured list placements increased from 212 in 2005 to 485 in 2024.
That's correspondent Gettin Coolball reporting. Also in baseball, Juan Soto, Blake Snell, and Clay Holmes debut for new teams. Paul Skeens makes his first opening day start at age 22. And Sandy Alcantara returns from Tommy John surgery. And in the NBA, Dallas Mavericks star Kyrie Irving had surgery on the torn ACL in his left knee. This starts a recovery process that's likely to continue in the next season. Team officials say they'll provide further medical updates on Irving as appropriate. With sports, I'm Andrew Stewart.
Time now for a look at sports. I'm Seth Lawrence with this report. Riley Fentress hit a bases-clearing triple in a 4-run first inning, jump-starting a Clinton offensive onslaught in an 11-1 win over Decatur MacArthur in non-conference high school softball action from Clinton High School. With the bases loaded, Fentress cleared the bases with a triple to center. She would come around to score on a sac fly. Fentress finished 1 for 3 with 2 runs scored. Hadley Humble finished with a double, 2 RBIs, and a run scored for the Lady Maroons. Olivia Haynes drove in 2 with a double and a pair of walks. Annalise Thompson, Avery Smith, and Peyton McKenzie added RBIs for Clinton. The Lady Maroons improved to 2-1 overall. Weather permitting, they will travel to Mayoral Forsyth on Friday. Hear the action on the big 15:20 a.m., 92.3 FM and 106.5 FM WHOW and all its digital platforms. Monticello got contributions up and down the lineup as they rolled Meridian 13-3 in non-conference high school softball action Wednesday in Monticello. Avery Schweitzer drove in 3 and went 2 for 3 with a run scored in the win. After a 2-homer day Tuesday, Isabella Beery followed it up going 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a run scored. Cassidy Stoffel had 6 RBIs on Tuesday. She finished 3 for 4 with a double and an RBI. Madison Highland and Sadie Walsh each drove in 2 for the Lady Sages, while Allie Widener and Ashley Stiverson drove in runs. Monticello jumped out to an 8-0 lead in the first 3 innings. Meridian cut it to 8-3 after 5, but Monticello scored 5 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning, and Walsh's sac fly to center field ended the game by run rule. Monticello goes to 5-0. They'll host Decatur Eisenhower on Friday. Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin scored 7 unanswered runs to beat Mayoral Forsyth 7-2 in non-conference high school girls softball action Wednesday in Springfield. The Lady Trojans jumped out to a 2-0 lead thanks to a Callie Kaler RBI ground out in the second, then an Aubrey Stewart's RBI double in the third. SHG responded going up 3-2 in the bottom half of the frame and put the game away with a run in the fourth and 3 more in the fifth. Kaler Stewart and Malia Hunter tallied the only hits for the Lady Trojans. They fall to 3-1 overall. They travel to Mount Zion this afternoon. Iroquois West scored 4 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning to get by Blue Ridge 10-8 in a back-and-forth high school softball tilt in Onarga on Wednesday. Iroquois West answered a Blue Ridge run in the top of the first with 4 of its own. The Lady Knights battled back to tie the score at 4 in the 3rd inning, highlighted by an Ellie Hayward 2-run double. Iroquois West responded with 2 runs in the bottom half of the frame to go up 6-4. The Lady Knights weren't done rallying. Carly Fenton reached on an error that scored 2 runs to put Blue Ridge up 7-6, and Hayward brought in a run on a ground out that made it 8-6, setting up the final rally of the game by Iroquois West. Hayward finished 1 for 4 with a double and 3 RBIs. Fenton was 0 for 3 but had 2 RBIs and a run scored. Lily Anger finished 1 for 4 with 2 runs and an RBI. Ellie Schleeper had an RBI for Blue Ridge as well. The Lady Knights go to 2-4 overall. They travel to Oakwood next Wednesday. A 7-run 3rd inning propelled Normal West to a 5-inning 11-1 run rule win over Gibson County of Tennessee in a high school baseball game from the Gulf Shores of Alabama on Wednesday. In the 7-run 3rd, Sam McCulley singled in 2, Chase Reinhardt doubled in 2 more, and Cooper Temples singled in 2. Brady Pollitt was the only hitter in the Wildcats lineup to tally multiple hits, finishing 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs. Temples was 1 for 1, working a walk, driving in 2, and stole a base. McCulley was 1 for 1 with 2 RBIs and drew a pair of walks. Sean Jenkins scored twice and stole 2 bases for Normal West. The Wildcats improved to 5-1 overall. They finish out their Alabama spring break trip with a noon game today. Central High School of Alabama scored the winning run in the bottom of the 7th inning to walk off Normal Community 4-3 in the opening of a twin bill for the Ironmen from Orange Beach, Alabama in high school baseball action on Wednesday. Normal Community committed 4 errors, including a crucial error in the 7th inning that put the winning run on base and ultimately came around to score on a second error of the inning. Gavin Swartz led Normal Community, going 1 for 3 with a double and run scored. Gavin Michaels was 1 for 4 with an RBI. Kyle Beatty, Max Heineman, Brady Burkhardt, and Andrew Nauer collected hits in the loss. Landon Corbin went 2 2/3 innings of 1-run ball for the Ironmen. His only run allowed was unearned, and he struck out 3, allowing 0 hits and 0 walks. In the second game of the day, a late rally fell short in an 8-5 loss to Athens of Alabama. Normal Community fell behind 8-0 after 4 innings. In the top of the 6th, the Ironmen scored 5 runs, highlighted by Corbin Harris's RBI double to make the score 8-2. Normal Community put 2 runners on base with the tying run at the plate in the 7th, but could not bring them in. Harris led the Ironmen in the second game, finishing 1 for 3 with a double and an RBI. Gavin Van Canigan drove in a run. Drew Stevens and Gavin Swartz each brought in runs in the 5-run frame. Beckett Weber surrendered 5 runs in an inning and 2/3, but only 1 was earned. He struck out 5, walked 2, and permitted 2 hits. The Ironmen committed 5 more errors in the second game. They fall to 2-3 overall and return to the Midwest next week to host Peoria Notre Dame on Monday. Caden Bozer scored a season-high 20 points. Chase Walker was named the College Basketball Invitational MVP, and Illinois State beat Cleveland State 79-68 Wednesday night to claim the championship. The Redbirds closed the season with a 22-14 record, the program's first time reaching the 20-win plateau since the 2016-17 season. Johnny Kinzinger and Walker scored 13 points apiece. Dalton Banks and Ty Pence each had 11. Tevin Smith led the 23-13 Vikings with 16 points. Cleveland State got 11 from Chase Robinson and Jay Sean Stevenson. Early offense sparked Illinois State over SIUE 9-3 in Edwardsville Wednesday evening. The Redbirds scored 7 runs across the first and second innings to get ahead early. Shy Robinson tripled home Kyle Gibson in the top of the first to break open the scoring before Daniel Pasella had a sac fly for an RBI for ISU's 2-0 lead after the first. Josh Outlaw's first home run as a Redbird in the top of the second put ISU up 4-0. Judah Morris added an RBI double to make it 6-0. The Redbirds would pad the lead on an RBI ground out by Braden Bakes and an RBI single from Kyle Gibson to go up 8-0 after 3. The lead grew to 9-0 in the fourth on an RBI single by Outlaw, his third RBI of the game. Josh Outlaw finished 2 for 5 with a homer and 3 RBIs. Gibson was 3 for 5 with an RBI, and Morris went 1 for 4 with a double and 2 RBIs. The win moves Illinois State to 10-13 this season. SIUE drops to 10-13. ISU returns home to host Murray State in Missouri Valley play Friday through Sunday. Get sports anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Today's a big day in Clinton and DeWitt County. It's the annual Clinton Area Chamber of Commerce Business Expo from 3 till 7 this afternoon at the Clinton Junior High School. Clinton Fire Department, located at 118 West Washington Street in Clinton, is one of the exhibitors at this year's expo, and they want you to stop by and pick up an application for a paid on-call firefighter and EMS worker and sign up for a free smoke detector. That's all at the Clinton Fire Department's booth at today's Clinton Chamber Business Expo from 3 till 7